She banged on my front door like she owned the place. "You can't live here," she shouted, her face red with rage. I opened the door, still holding the box I was unpacking, and stared at her. "Excuse me? This is my property." She shoved a paper in my face with shaky hands. "This is an HOA community, and you need to leave before I call security." I couldn't help but laugh. "Lady, this house isn't even part of your HOA. I checked twice before buying it." Her eyes flickered for a second, like she wasn't expecting me to know that. Then she leaned in closer, whispering like she had some secret power. "Doesn't matter. Around here, I make the rules." I stood still, letting her words hang in the air. The boxes inside were still unopened, my moving truck parked in the driveway, and yet here she was, trying to evict me on day one. "Go ahead," I said calmly. "Call whoever you want. But when they show up, they'll find out the truth." For a moment, her confidence cracked, but then she smirked. "You'll regret moving here. People who cross me never last long." And that's when I knew this wasn't going to be a normal neighbor problem. This was a war she thought she'd already won. The very next morning, I found a bright orange notice taped to my front door. In big, bold letters, it read, "Eviction, HOA order." I ripped it off, shaking my head. Unbelievable. She had actually printed a fake notice and signed it like she was some kind of judge. As I stood there, my new neighbor from across the street walked over quietly. "Hey, don't let her scare you," he said. "She does this to everyone who doesn't bow down to her." I raised an eyebrow. "Everyone? Even people outside the HOA?" He nodded. "She thinks the whole neighborhood belongs to her. Last year, she got a guy's car towed from his own driveway." Before I could answer, Karen marched down the sidewalk, phone in hand, recording me. "This man is trespassing in my neighborhood. I told him to leave, but he refuses." She spun the camera toward my house like it was evidence. I stepped forward, keeping my voice calm but firm. "This is my deed, my land. You have no authority here." She sneered and spoke loudly for the camera. "We'll see what the police say when they get here." I smiled faintly, because what she didn't know was that I had already spoken to the sheriff before moving in. My property was crystal clear on the county maps, and I had every word of our conversation saved. Within 20 minutes, the flashing red and blue lights lit up my quiet street. 2 deputies stepped out, and before they could even knock, Karen rushed over to them, waving her phone like it was proof. "Officers, arrest him! He's squatting on HOA land!" she screamed, pointing at me like I was some criminal. One of the deputies raised a hand. "Ma'am, calm down. We'll handle this." I handed them a folder I'd prepared weeks earlier. The deed, county records, and even a letter from the zoning office. "This property is not part of the HOA. Everything's legal and verified." The deputy flipped through the documents, nodding slowly. Karen's voice grew louder. "Don't believe him. He forged those papers. I'm the HOA president, and I decide who lives here." That's when the other deputy looked at her with sharp eyes. "Ma'am, these are official county seals. Are you saying the county forged documents for him?" She stammered, her face pale for a second, then snapped back, "I don't care what it says. He doesn't belong here." The deputies turned back to me. "You're fine. She has no authority over your property." Karen's jaw dropped, and she shouted at them, "You'll regret siding with him." She stormed off, but not before whispering just loud enough for me to hear, "I always find a way." That night, I heard footsteps outside my window. At first, I thought it was just the wind, but then my motion lights flicked on, and there she was, creeping across my driveway with a clipboard and a roll of stickers. She started slapping bright red violation stickers on my truck, my front door, even my mailbox. I stepped out onto the porch, phone in hand, recording every second. "Karen," I called out, "that's trespassing." She froze, then spun around with a grin. "No, this is enforcement. You park too close to the curb, your grass is half an inch too long, and that paint color, not approved."
I laughed in disbelief. Approved by who? This isn't your HOA jurisdiction. She didn't even flinch. Everyone here follows my rules, or they don't live here long. I held up my phone. Guess what? This is live streaming. Hundreds of people are already watching. For the first time, she hesitated, her smile fading. Delete it, now. I shook my head. Not a chance. Tomorrow, the county will see exactly how you're harassing me. Her face twisted in rage as she hissed, You think this video will save you? You don't know who you're dealing with. Then she stormed off into the night, leaving my driveway littered with fake violation stickers.
By morning, the video had gone viral. My phone buzzed nonstop with comments from people calling her HOA Karen and laughing at her fake violations. But when I stepped outside, the laughter ended fast because my truck was gone, towed. I stood there staring at the empty driveway, my fists tightening. She had actually done it. Before I could even call the sheriff, Karen strutted down the street holding her clipboard like a trophy. "Maybe now you'll take me seriously," she said with a smirk. "That'll cost you $500 to get your vehicle back." I glared at her. "You just committed theft. That tow is illegal." She shrugged. "Not my problem. Around here, I decide what's legal." I pulled out my phone again, this time showing her the recording I'd already emailed to the sheriff's office the night before. "Funny thing, Karen, the real law doesn't see it that way. They're already on their way." Her smug expression faltered. You wouldn't dare." I stepped closer, calm and steady. "Oh, I'd more than dare. You crossed the wrong guy." Minutes later, the same deputies rolled up, only this time, they weren't looking at me. Karen was still standing in my driveway when one officer asked, "Ma'am, did you authorize a tow from this property?" She lifted her chin proudly. "Of course I did. It's an HOA violation." The deputy's voice hardened. "We already told you this house isn't part of your HOA. That tow was unlawful. Do you realize you just committed fraud and theft of service?" Her face went pale, but she tried to recover. No, you don't understand. I was protecting the neighborhood." I crossed my arms, letting the silence eat at her. "Protecting it? By stealing my truck?" I asked. The other deputy stepped forward, pulling out a notepad. "We're going to need the towing company's info, and you're coming with us." Karen's voice cracked as she screamed, "You can't arrest me! I'm the president of this community!" The deputy shook his head. "Not anymore, you're not." He motioned for her to step toward the patrol car. She stomped her foot, shrieking like a child. "This isn't over! He doesn't belong here!"
The tow truck driver pulled up right as the deputies were escorting her away. He looked nervous when he saw the flashing lights. I was told this was an HOA order," he muttered, lowering my truck back into the driveway. One deputy snapped, "You've been lied to, son. This property isn't under her authority. You better hope you didn't know that, because you could have been in big trouble too." Karen screamed from the back of the patrol car. "Don't let him park here! He doesn't belong!" I turned toward her, calm but firm. "Karen, I bought this home fair and square. You never had any power over me." She rattled against the car door like a trapped animal, her face twisted with rage. "You'll regret this! Everyone who crosses me regrets it!" The deputy glanced at me, shaking his head. "We've had complaints about her before, but no one ever caught her this red-handed. Your footage nailed it." I nodded. "Good thing I recorded everything." The tow driver muttered an apology before speeding off, leaving Karen's screams echoing in the street. For the first time since moving in, I felt like my ground was solid. But in her eyes, even behind the glass, I could see it. She wasn't done. A week later, my street looked different. Peaceful. Quiet. Neighbors who had once kept their distance now stopped by with smiles, shaking my hand. "You don't know how long we've been waiting for someone to stand up to her," one man said. Another whispered, "She's bullied this place for years. You finally ended it." Karen, meanwhile, faced real charges: trespassing, fraud, impersonating authority. Her face even made the local news, branded with the nickname the internet gave her,
HOA Karen. Watching the report, I couldn't help but think about her words that first day. Around here, I make the rules. Turns out the real rules had caught up to her. As I sat on my porch, my wife joined me, setting down 2 cups of coffee. "You happy we moved here?" she asked with a smile. I looked at our home, the deed framed on the wall inside, my truck back in the driveway, neighbors waving instead of hiding. "Yeah," I said, "because this isn't just a house, it's ours. No HOA, no Karen, no one can take that away."